Help me reach 3,000 subscribers. Support the video with a like and leave your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. Thank you. I walked into our downtown Austin apartment, my tie loose, the hum of a long day at the office still buzzing in my head. Emily was sprawled on the couch, her phone glowing, thumbs tapping away at some endless scroll. The TV blared some reality show she wasn't even watching. I dropped my bag by the door and leaned down to kiss her neck like I'd done 100 times before. It was our ritual, or used to be. Before my lips even brushed her skin, she let out a sharp huff like I was a mosquito. She was swatting away. God, Matt, your kisses just make me feel sorry for you, she said, her voice flat, eyes glued to her screen. A beat later, louder with a bite. Can you just back off? It hit like a jab to the gut. Not pain, but a kind of disgust that makes your skin crawl. I stood there staring at the back of her blonde head, her hair spilling over the couch cushion. A slap would have stung less. I straightened up, my voice low but sharp. Got it. No more kisses. No, nothing for me. Done. I grabbed my keys and jacket from the hook, the metal clinking in my hand. I'm out. Where are you even going? She called, her tone half irritated, half mocking, still not looking up. I didn't answer. The door clicked shut behind me. I drove to Rick's place, my oldest friend, the one guy who doesn't play therapist. He opened the door, handed me a cold can of soda, and flipped on the football game. Cowboys versus Packers second half. His living room was a mess, empty pizza boxes, car magazines strewn across the coffee table. We sat in silence, the TV roaring, and for the first time in weeks I felt my shoulders relax. No words, just a game. I sipped the sweet fizz and let her voice fade into the noise. That night, flipped the switch. I didn't touch Emily after that. Not a glance, not a word, not a brush of the hand. We were stuck in the same 1200 FT apartment, but I made sure our worlds didn't collide. I'd leave early for my job as a project manager at a tech startup, grinding through 12-hour days. After work, I'd hit the gym, linger over tacos with co-workers at the food truck on 6th Street, or a swing by Rick's bar, the Rusty Spur, to talk about nothing. Fantasy football, bad client emails, whatever. I was waking up, remembering what it felt like to be me. Emily noticed she had to. She poked at me, little jabs to testify crack. Out late again. Huh? She'd say, leaning against the kitchen counter, sipping lemonade, her voice dripping with sarcasm. What? You got a secret life now? I'd shrug, grabbing a water from the fridge. Yep, living it. No fight, no drama, just a wall. It drove her nuts. She wanted a reaction, some big blowout to feed her narrative. I wasn't giving it to her. Emily and I had been married 6 years together for 8. We met at South by Southwest back when I was still figuring out my career, and she was a barista on Congress Avenue, dreaming of her own boutique. She was electric then, quick smile, sharp wit, the kind of woman who could make a room feel alive. I fell hard. We built a life, a decent apartment, weekend trips to the hill country, lazy nights binging Netflix on our beat-up couch. But somewhere along the way, things shifted. Her boutique took off and she started living on her phone, chasing Instagram likes and customer reviews. I was pulling late nights to cover the bills, and her eye rolls became a reflex whenever I opened my mouth. The neck kiss jab wasn't the first. A month earlier, her friend Claire came over for coffee, and I'd just gotten home from a brutal day at work. Some client had tanked a project I'd spent weeks on, and I was venting, pacing the kitchen. Emily cut me off mid-sentence, her voice sharp. Matt, nobody cares about your work drama. Can you just chill for once? Claire froze, pretending to study her mug. I didn't say anything, just grabbed a soda and stepped onto the balcony, scrolling through emails to cool off. It stuck with me, like a splinter you don't notice until it fires. Another time, at a co-worker's barbecue, Emily was in rare form, laughing too loud at some guy's dumb joke about craft beer, then turning to me with a smirk. Matt's not big on fun, she said to the group, her tone playful but cutting. He's more of a stay-home and work kind of guy. A few people chuckled awkwardly, their eyes darting to me. I leaned back, grinning. Yeah, someone's got to fund your shoe obsession, babe. That got a bigger laugh, and her smile tightened. I didn't let her see it landed, but it did. Rick called it out one night at his bar, the jukebox playing Springsteen in the background. We were at the corner table, cracking open fresh colas. She's testing you, man, he said, his voice low but firm. Rick's a mechanic, Hands rough from years of wrenching, but his head's sharper than most. 2 divorces will do that, poking to see how much you'll take. You keep letting her, she'll keep pushing. You're not her doormat. Matt, stop acting like it. He was right. I'd been bending over backward to keep the peace, coming home early when she asked, picking up her favorite Thai takeout, letting her snide comments slide. No more. That night, I decided I was done playing defense. If she wanted to push, I'd push back. Smarter, sharper, and without losing my cool. The first real test came at a happy hour with Emily's boutique friends at the trendy spot downtown, with exposed brick and overpriced mocktails. I was chatting with Nate, one of her suppliers, about shipping logistics for her handmade jewelry. Emily was a few seats down holding court, her laugh cutting through the noise. Then she leaned over, her voice loud enough to carry. Matt's probably boring Nate to death with his work talk, she said, smirking. He's not exactly Mr. Excitement. Nate raised an eyebrow, glancing at me. I didn't miss a beat, keeping my tone light, but pointed funny. I thought you liked me predictable. Didn't you say I'm only good for paying the bills? Nate chuckled, and Jess, one of her friends, coughed into her drink. Emily's smirk faltered, but she tried to play it off, tossing her hair. Oh, come on, I'm just teasing, she said, her voice a little too bright. Teasing, huh? I said, leaning back with a small grin. Guess I'll save my excitement for someone who doesn't think I'm a charity case. I turned back to Nate, picking up our conversation. So, you were saying about that new supplier in Dallas? Emily didn't push it, but I could feel her eyes on me, sharp and searching. She wasn't used to me clapping back, and it threw her off. Good. I wasn't here to make her comfortable anymore. In the car, she tried again, staring out the passenger window, her voice tight. You were a real comedian tonight, making me look like an idiot in front of my friends. I kept my eyes on the road, my voice calm but firm. You did that yourself, Em. I'm not your punching bag. You want to take shots. Expect me to fire back. She didn't respond, just crossed her arms and let the silence fill the car. She wants to play cold. Fine. Let's see how she likes ice, I thought, pulling into our parking garage. The next week, I leaned into the distance. I started eating alone, grabbing takeout and sitting at the kitchen counter while Emily was in the living room scrolling her phone. One night, I came home with a burger from Hoppy, the bag crinkling as I set it down. Emily glanced up from the couch, her voice softer than usual, like she was testing the waters. You didn't get me anything, she said. Almost playful but with an edge. I unwrapped my burger, not looking at her. Didn't know you were hungry, I said, my tone flat. You've been pretty clear, you don't need me hovering. I took a bite, letting the silence settle. She sat up, her voice sharper now. What's that supposed to mean? I'm just asking about dinner, Matt. Why are you being such a jerk? I chewed slowly, meeting her eyes. Not being a jerk. Just respecting your space. You said I'm pitiful, right? I'm just making sure I don't bother you. I turned back to my food, flipping through my phone like she wasn't there. Her face tightened and she stood storming to the bedroom. Fine, be like that, she snapped, slamming the door. If she wants to play games, she's playing alone, I thought, finishing my burger. That night, I slept in the guest room, the door locked. No argument, no drama, just a line drawn. A few days later, I got home late, past 10, after a long gym session and a quick stop at Rick's. Emily was in the kitchen, leaning against the counter, clearly waiting. Her arms were crossed, her face a mix of irritation and something else, maybe worry. Where the hell have you been? She said, her voice loud, accusatory. You don't even text me anymore. I kicked off my shoes, my voice calm but cold. Didn't think you care. You wanted space. I'm giving it to you. I walked past her to the fridge, grabbing a water. She followed, her voice rising. This is ridiculous, Matt. You're acting like I don't exist. I'm your wife, I turned, meeting her eyes, my tone steady. Wife? You told me my kisses make you feel sorry for me. I'm just doing what you asked, backing off. You don't get to complain now. I brushed past her, heading to the guest room. Her footsteps stopped short, and I heard her mutter something under her breath. I didn't care enough to ask what. The tension exploded at Jason and Lena's dinner party, a cozy setup in their suburban house just outside Austin. 7 of us sat around their polished oak table, plates piled with grilled chicken, roasted veggies, and Lena's famous cornbread. Glasses of sparkling water clinked, and the room buzzed with laughter. I was in my element, trading jabs with Jason about his golf game, swapping stories with Lena about her new interior design client. Emily sat across from me, picking at her food, quiet at first. I didn't look her way, not once. Then she started, her voice cutting through the chatter, loud and sharp. Matt's been so busy lately, she said, a fake smile plastered on her face. Always out, never home. Guess he's got better things to do than spend time with his wife. The table went quiet, forks pausing midair. Lena shot me a quick glance like she was waiting for me to take the bait. I leaned back, swirling my soda, my voice calm, but pointed. Well, you did say my presence makes you feel sorry for me. I'm just respecting your opinion. I took a sip, keeping my eyes on Jason, who was already trying to change the subject with a loud story about his dog chewing up his new sneakers. Emily's smile faltered, her eyes narrowing. That's not what I meant, and you know it, she said, her voice sharp, but trying to sound playful. I didn't bite. Sure, I set my tone even, but you were pretty clear. I'm just giving you what you asked for. I turned to Lena, picking up the conversation. So, Lena, you still working with that client who wanted the neon pink living room? Emily tried again during dessert, her voice louder, more desperate. Matt's probably itching to get back to his gym buddies, she said, her tone dripping with mockery. He's practically married to his dumbbells now. I set my fork down, meeting her eyes for the first time that night. Better than being married to someone who thinks I'm pathetic, I said, my voice low but clear, with just a hint of a smile. At least the dumbbells don't talk back. Jason snorted, and Sarah, a friend of Lena's from the brewery night, let out a quiet laugh. Emily's face went pink, but she didn't have a comeback. The table moved on, but I could feel her staring like she was trying to burn a hole through me. I stepped out to the patio later, joining Sarah and Mike, another friend of Jason's, who were chatting about a new hiking trail. Sarah pulled me in, her voice warm. Matt, you ever been out to Barton Creek? You look like you could handle a trail. She grinned, her eyes bright. I laughed, leaning against the railing. Only if the trail comes with air conditioning, I said, keeping it light. The conversation flowed easy, natural. Sarah was a graphic designer, quick with a joke and sharper than most. Through the glass door, I caught Emily watching us, her face tight like she was losing something she couldn't name. She's not used to me not chasing her, I thought. Good. The next clash came a week later at home after I got back from a late night at the gym. Emily was in the living room pacing, her phone tossed on the couch like she'd been waiting for me. You're out all the time now, she said, her voice loud, almost shaking with anger. What? You think you're some big shot staying out till midnight? Who are you even with? I set my gym bag down, my voice calm but cold. Friends? People who don't think I'm a joke. You should try it sometime. I grabbed the water from the fridge, not looking at her. She stepped closer, her voice rising, her hands clenched. You're my husband, Matt. You don't get to act like you're single, running around with your buddies, probably flirting with every woman who looks at you. I turned, meeting her eyes, my tone steady but sharp. Flirting. That's rich, coming from the woman who said my kisses make her feel sorry for me. You want me gone? I'm gone. Don't cry about it now. Her face flushed, her voice cracking with frustration. You're twisting everything. I didn't mean it like that, and you know it. You're just punishing me, acting like I'm the bad guy. I smirked just enough to sting. Punishing you? Nah, I'm just living my life. You made it clear I'm not worth your time. I'm just taking your advice. I walked past her to the guest room, leaving her standing there, her breath hitching like she was about to scream. She's losing control, and she hates it, I thought, locking the door behind me. The final public showdown was at Lena's charity fundraiser for a local animal shelter, a big event downtown with live music, catered food, and a silent auction. I was there to support Lena, bidding on a couple of items, catching up with Tom from work about a new app launch. Emily showed up in a dress that turned heads, working the room like a pro, all smiles and small talk. I kept my distance, laughing with Tom about the client's ridiculous email. Then Emily made her move near the dessert table, surrounded by a small group. Matt's probably ready to bolt, she said, her voice loud and sharp, her smile fake. He's not big on crowds, or fun, or you know anything. The group went quiet, eyes darting to me. I set my soda down with a soft clink, meeting her gaze. That's rich, Em, I said, my voice calm but razor sharp. You're the one who said, I'm pitiful. I'm just giving you what you wanted, space. You're welcome. Sarah, standing nearby, let out a quiet oof, and the others shifted uncomfortably. Emily's face went red, but she tried to laugh it off. Wow, Matt, way to make it awkward, she said, her voice tight, her smile forced. Awkward, I said, still smiling, my tone steady. Nah, I'm just keeping it real. You want a distance? You got it. Don't cry about it now. I turned back to the group, picking up the conversation. So, Sarah, you still working on that logo for the shelter? Emily didn't stick around. She muttered something about needing air and slipped out to the patio. Lena caught my eye, giving me a small nod like she was saying, "You've got this." I didn't follow Emily. I bid on a weekend getaway package and won it. Already planning to take Rick or Sarah hiking. She's not calling the shots anymore, I thought, signing my name on the bid sheet. That night, we got home around 11:00. The second the door shut, Emily exploded, her purse hitting the couch with a thud, her voice shaking with rage. "You're unbelievable, Matt," she yelled, her hands on her hips, her face flushed. "You humiliated me in front of everyone tonight, flirting with that Sarah chick, throwing my words back in my face. What's your deal? You think you're some big shot now, laughing it up with other women, making me look like a fool." I hung my jacket slow and deliberate and turned to face her, my voice low and cold. "My deal? You've been taking shots at me for months. In front of friends, co-workers, strangers. You called me pitiful, told me to back off. I did. Now you're mad because I'm not crawling back." She stepped closer, her voice rising to a near scream. "You're my husband, Matt. You don't get to act like some single guy giggling with that graphic designer, making me look stupid. Everyone saw you. You're embarrassing me. Acting like I don't even exist." I held her gaze unflinching, my tone steady but hard. "Embarrassing you. You've been cutting me down for years. M's a little digs, little tests, always waiting for me to prove something. You said my kisses make you feel sorry for me. Fine. You don't get them anymore. You don't get me anymore. I'm done being your target." Her eyes flashed, her voice cracking with fury. "So that's it? You're just going to keep acting like I'm nothing. You think you're so cool now, flirting with every woman who laughs at your dumb jokes. You're pathetic, Matt. Everyone sees it. You're making a fool of yourself." I smirked, stepping closer, my voice calm, but razor sharp. "Pathetic. That's funny coming from you. You're the one who's been treating me like I'm nothing. You wanted to play games, poke at me, see how far you could push. I'm done playing. You don't get to tear me down and then cry when I don't stick around for more. You said my kisses make you feel sorry for me. Well, now you get to find out what it's like to live without them, without me. Good luck. You're free, but not in this house." Her mouth opened, then closed, her face a mix of rage and shock. She stepped back, her voice dropping, but still sharp. "You're blowing this out of proportion. I didn't mean it like that, and you know it. You're just punishing me, acting like I'm the bad guy." I shook my head, my voice cold but steady. "Punishing you? No. I'm just done letting you treat me like I'm less than you. You've been chipping away at me for years. Every snide comment, every eye roll, every time you made me feel like I'm not enough. I know my worth. I'm not your project to fix or your punching bag to hit. You wanted space? You've got it forever." She stared at me, her eyes wide, her breath hitching. "You don't mean that," she said, her voice quieter now, almost pleading. "We can fix this, Matt. We can talk." "No," I cut her off, my voice hard. "Final. We've talked enough. You made your choice when you decided I was a joke. I'm making mine now." I walked to the bedroom, grabbed her suitcase from the closet and started packing. Clothes, shoes, her fancy skincare stuff, everything folded neat and quick. I set it by the door and said loud enough for her to hear, "I'm filing for divorce tomorrow. You're free to go, just not here." She stood frozen, her hands clenched, her voice barely a whisper. "Matt, please." I didn't look back. I walked to the guest room, shut the door, and locked it. She's out of moves, I thought, and I'm out of patience. The next few weeks were quiet. I hired a lawyer, no drama, just paperwork, and started the divorce process. Emily moved out the next day, her suitcase and a few boxes loaded into Claire's car. She gave me a long look as she left, like she was waiting for me to stop her. I didn't. I stood by the door, my face blank, and watched her go. I stayed in the apartment for a bit, but it felt too big, too heavy with old arguments. So, I found a new place, a sleek one-bedroom in the heart of Austin, close enough to walk to work. Bare walls, a decent couch, a fridge stocked with soda and leftovers from my favorite taco joint. I hit the gym most mornings, met up with Rick or my co-workers after work, and started saying yes to things I turned down before. Concerts, hiking trips, trivia nights at the bar. Sarah became a regular friend, always quick with a text or a joke about my ancient iPhone. We weren't dating, but the vibe was easy, light. I was living again. Emily texted me once, a month later. Can we talk? I miss you. I stared at it, then typed back. Nothing to talk about. Take care. I hit send and blocked her number. No anger, no regret, just done. 6 months later, I ran into her at a coffee shop on South Congress. I was grabbing a latte before a meeting, scrolling through my phone when I heard her voice at the counter. Matt, she said, soft, hesitant. I looked up and there she was, hair pulled back, looking tired, her eyes searching mine. You look good, she said, clutching her coffee cup, her voice shaky. Thanks, I said, grabbing my order, my tone neutral. I wasn't here for a scene, she shifted, her voice low, almost desperate. I messed up, okay? I didn't realize. I shouldn't have said those things. I miss you. I miss us. I looked at her, her eyes pleading for something I wasn't giving. You didn't miss me. I said, my voice calm but firm. You missed having someone to push around. I'm good now. You should be too. I gave her a nod, turned, and walked out. The sun was bright, the street alive with Austin's usual chaos. Tourists, locals, street musicians. I didn't look back. Life's good now. My new place is mine. No tension, no jabs, no games. I'm up early, hitting the gym, crushing it at work. The startup's thriving and I'm leading a new project that's got everyone buzzing. After hours, I'm out with Rick, Sarah, or my co-workers, grabbing tacos, catching a game, or just laughing about nothing. I've been on a few dates, nothing serious, just coffee, laughs, maybe a second meetup if the vibe's right. I'm not chasing love, I'm just living. Every night I come home, drop my keys on the counter, and crack open a soda. The silence is peaceful, not heavy. No one's waiting to tear me down. No one's testing me. Just me, my life, my terms. And that's worth more than she'll ever